Hello my fellow whale watchers and welcome to my first question and answer video. This was one of the suggestions that I got on what you would be interested to see in the future on my channel, so I decided to give it a try. Why not? So while you see a bit of gameplay in the background, I will speak about a topic that many of you seem interested in: setting up a War Robots YouTube channel. How can you set one up? Does it make sense? How can you get subscribers? Where can you get started? So I hope that this video will be helpful for the ones that ask this question. First, I will talk about what basic things you need if you decide to set up a channel, the essentials. Secondly, I will talk a little bit about you as a creator and what may make your particular channel successful. Finally, I will give you a short example, which is this War Robots channel, how it began and how it ended up where it is today. So let's start with the essentials. Who can set up a YouTube channel? Well, basically everybody that has a YouTube account and decides to add a channel to it. Once you have a channel, you can add videos. It's as simple as that. So for creating these videos, you need a recording device. This can be your cell phone, a tablet, or a computer. It doesn't really matter, but it needs to be relatively new in order to allow you to record videos of good quality. Then you also need some sort of recording software. This software is usually called a screen recorder, and there are so many of these around that it's difficult to recommend one. I would suggest you to try a few out and just stick to one of them if you like it. Usually they are free and they all work according to the same principle. You press a button and the software records your screen with certain quality presets, which are resolution, format and frame rate. Usually you can adjust all of these. It's quite common that you can record videos of better quality if you pay a little fee to the provider of the software. One important thing is the audio settings. Usually there are different options that you have. You can record surroundings or external audio, for example with a microphone, or you can often also record internal audio that then records the audio of your device. This is very useful, but it can be quite tricky to find software that allows you to do this for your particular device. So once you have figured out how this works, try to upload your first video on your channel. You will see that it's quite intuitive. The next step is your recorded videos may not be exactly how you want it to be, so you may want to look into video editors. Again, there are many around and they all work similarly, and often such basic editors are also part of your recording software already. The free ones allow you to do basic things such as cutting out or adding video sections, add text to your videos, or change the speed of certain video sections. For the start, there is not really much more that you need, but of course you can think of adding other things too, audio tracks, filters, all kinds of fancy stuff. So then you record gameplay, you upload a few videos, you share this on social media, and not a lot happens. You may have maybe 4 or 5 views, 3 of them was yourself, right? A few subscribers that you have begged to subscribe, and at that point, that's where 95% of all people give up. Because it's easy to create a channel, but it's hard to create a successful channel. I mean, how do you ever want to arrive at, let's say, 1000 subscribers if you don't even get double digits on your subs count, right? So let's come to the second part of this video. That's where you as a creator come in. So the first question that you should ask yourself is, where do you want to end up as a realistic goal? And the second question, are you willing and are you able to spend a lot of time to actually end up there? Because most creators heavily underestimate how much effort this will take. And there's a learning curve too. So the first message that I want to send you is, you need to invest time and effort into your channel. And when I say effort, I mean continuous effort, not just an hour or so every other week. I don't know any War Robots creator that has just started and after a few weeks, bam, hundreds of views and subscribers. It just doesn't happen. The third question that you should ask yourself is, why should anybody that you don't know watch your videos? If somebody looks at the YouTube search results and for some reason your video shows up in the list, there is a chance that your video is next to a video by Adrian, HX Gaming Tactics video, a many live stream and a clickbait video of a half-naked girl. So out of these options on the screen, why should somebody click on your video? So the answer to this question is because he or she wants to. They want to spend a few minutes of their valuable time watching your particular video. So you basically need to convince random people that the best investment of their time is to watch your video despite similar alternatives. This means that you need to be good in at least one out of two things. The first possibility is you have badass content. Your video provides useful information or entertainment or skill that makes your video the best choice to watch. This is the first possibility on how you can make people watch your videos and get subscribers. The second possibility is you know how to do marketing. You may have content that is average or similar to others, but you have a really funny thumbnail, or you leave your name everywhere on social media, or you interact with potential viewers, for example in live streams or on Facebook. So that's the second possibility on how to get views and subs. The most successful channels combine these two, good content and good marketing. The kind of successful channels usually have one out of these two things, either good marketing or good content. So that brings us briefly to this channel at the end of this video as an example. At least I hope that this channel can provide very useful content to you, otherwise you wouldn't watch this video right now, but I'm just terrible at self-marketing. I'm just not that kind of person that begs people to subscribe if they don't want to or leaves links to my videos everywhere on social media. I prefer to spend my time focusing on the quality of the content, and my hope is that sooner or later interested audience will find its way here. But that's fine. This channel is kind of successful, right? And I'm more than happy where this channel is, also because I did not really expect to bring it that far in the first place. As everybody else, I started very small because I just wanted to share some gameplay with my clan, the Iron Smiles. And if you look at my earliest videos, you can also see not many views, bad quality, typical for somebody that just starts out. But in the months afterwards, I had a few ideas. The first one was starting a completely new free-to-play account and recording each single battle with it. I didn't know where this would end up back then, but I kind of got addicted to the idea. So I recorded 50 battles, 100 battles, 500 and finally 1000 battles. At that point then I closed it down, but I gained some 150 subscribers that wanted to see that. Not bad. Then I started with another idea, tactics videos. Most channels showed gameplay with really powerful gear, the latest meta, but I did not have any of that back then. This also made it very hard to play the most popular game modes, which are Pick and Rush and FFA. Because in the highest leagues it's just dominated by OP meta machines, so in order to keep up with the non-meta builds, I needed to concentrate on a game mode that not a lot of other creators focus on, domination. So this idea of sharing domination tactics videos I've kept until today. Sometimes as a creator you just need to do things that nobody else does, but that many viewers find interesting. Since then I had a few more ideas, some of them caught on, some not. You often just don't know in advance, right? I tried to improve the quality of my videos and invested into a new device, added thumbnails and finally reached the War Robots YouTube Creators Program. Very recently I even crossed the 1000 subscribers mark, and I'm finally in a position to give stuff back to you by organizing giveaways. Nice story. So this concludes my video and the very basics on how to create a successful War Robots YouTube channel. In summary, you need to have good ideas, work hard, and invest into some basic equipment that you may already have. If enough of you are interested, I may release follow-up videos or focus more on a particular aspect of this topic. As usual, just let me know in the comment section of this video, or alternatively ask another question. Thanks for watching and see you on my channel.